Hello everyone, my name is Marissa and I'm going to do a tutorial today for the Potomac Bead Company. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these earrings that I'm calling my Diamond Rio earrings. So I've already have 2 completed pairs here, and I'm going to make the matching earring to go with this one. And I really like these. They're really cute and they're very easy to make. They're a lot of fun to make because they're very easy to make. So, and they hang beautifully. And see, this is how they hang. I like that. I don't like where they're stiff or they hang kind of weird looking. They look very pretty on. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to need. For this project, you are going to need some Cali beads, and I'm going to use the Aztec Gold today, and you're going to need 4 per earring. You're also going to need some IrisDuos, 4 per earring as well, and for today, I'm going to use the Ancient Gold. You will also need some O beads. You will need 8 per unit, and for today's, I'm going to use the copper color. You'll need some 2x3 rondelles, and I'm going to use the emerald, and you will need 2, 4, 6, 8 per unit as well. And again, they're the 2x3 rondelles. I haven't tried it with any other type of bead, but feel free to use a 3 millimeter bicone or maybe a 3 millimeter fire polish. It's up to you. You will need 11/0s and 15/0s. For my 11/0s, I'm going to use 2 colors, but you can just stick to 1 color if you like. I'm going to be using the champagne in the 11/0s, but I'm going to use the champagne color for the inside part here, so you're not really going to use a whole lot of those. For the other color of the 11/0, I'm going to use a metallic chocolate, I believe. For my 15/0s, I'm going to use the black bronze 15/0s. All of my seed beads are Miyuki. I did do these with 11/0 Toho in these the little turquoise color are Toho, and actually both 11/0 colors that I used on this were Toho, and it worked out just fine. Looks maybe just a tad bigger, but you don't have to change anything in your pattern, and it works out, and it hangs just as pretty. Okay, I have threaded my needle with just under 2 feet of thread, and I'm using a size 10 beading needle. That should work for you, and I'm using the green Wildfire 0.006. And you may also need some flat nose pliers and scissors or something to cut your thread with. I'm going to use the Ultra Thread Set. So go ahead and get your materials together, and then we will get started. Okay, I have little piles of everything on my mat, except for my IrisDuos. I just took out the 4 that I was going to need. And, whoops, forgot to get my Cali beads out. So I just need 4, so I'll just dump out 4. I forgot to mention at the start, you will need earring hooks. I'm just going to use a bronze color earring hook. And if you like, you don't have to use this, but I am going to use a wire guard on my earrings. Again, that's optional. You can just do this part with 15/0s if you don't have any wire guards. But since I have some, and I do happen to have the color to match the colors that I'm using, I'm going to go ahead and use it. As I said, I have 2 feet of thread on my needle. You will need a stop bead, so go ahead and thread a stop bead on your needle. Then pick up 4 Cali beads separated with 4 11/0 beads. So you should have 4 and 4. If you are starting with a Cali bead, you will end with an 11/0. If you started with an 11/0, you will end with a Cali bead. So this is what you should have 4 and 4. Put those down to the end of your thread, and then go through every single bead. So I just circled around, and I'm going through everything again. We're not going to tie a knot yet, because if we do, we're going to have a hard time going in there. So let's just go through everything one more time, and if you got to do it 2 at a time, go ahead. Just make sure you don't skip any 11-ohs. So I'm going through everything that I have on my thread, and then I'm going to go until I pass that stop bead going into that Cali bead here, and then I'm going to pull tight. Oops. Excuse me. I'm going to pull tight. Okay. Also, excuse my fingernails. I've been doing a lot of scrubbing, so I don't have the most glamorous fingernails right now. I mean, I never do, but sometimes I have them polished, and, well, I don't have them polished today, and I don't have them, you know, they're a little bit off looking. Okay, so I came out of this IrisDuo after my stop bead, then I jumped on over and hopped out to the second hole, to the middle hole of my IrisDuo. So my string is coming out of this IrisDuo after my stop bead, and I'm coming out of the middle hole. Now here on goes, I'm going to use my other color, 11-oh, 11-oh, O bead, IrisDuo, O bead, and 11-oh. So this is what I have. 11 O bead, iris, O bead, 11. And I'm going to go into my next IrisDuo and line through that middle hole, because now we're working in the middle holes. And pull tight. On this step, you want to pull tight. I had done on one of my pairs, on one of these sections, I didn't pull as tight as I should have, and it's kind of loose, and it's buggy. It was bugging me. I had to do it again. So coming out of that IrisDuo again, 11-oh, O bead, IrisDuo, O bead, 11-oh, and going through my next IrisDuo in line. And make sure that all your holes were clear and that your IrisDuos are sitting up the same with the correct side up. You don't want to finish your earring and see that one of your IrisDuos has the curvy side up, and the one of them has a flat side up. Okay, coming out of my IrisDuo, 11-oh, O bead, IrisDuo, O bead. If it wants to get on my needle, and 11-oh. Going through my next IrisDuo, that middle hole, pulling tight. Again, 11-oh, O bead, iris, O bead, 11-oh. Going through my next IrisDuo in line, and go ahead and go through your next little grouping of your 11-ohs and your O beads until you're coming out of your next Cali bead. I don't remember calling these Cali beads at the beginning of this tutorial. I hope I called it a Cali bead. I might have called it an IrisDuo by mistake. But okay. And if you need to go through these one at a time, just like I am doing, go ahead. So once you're coming out of that I have cream on my hands, so okay, so this is what you should have. Just like this. Stay in frame. Just like this. Coming out of this middle hole of this Cali bead. Again, these are Cali beads here. I may have accidentally referred to them as IrisDuos, but these are Cali beads. From the start of the video, these here are Cali beads. Now, coming out of the middle hole of my Cali bead, I'm going to hop on over to my outermost hole, or my last hole, the one we haven't used, of my Cali bead. Here, I'm going to put a 15-0 and a rondelle, and I'm going to go through my IrisDuo. And then it's going to do this. Just fix it. Just push it. You're going to have a teeny weeny bit of thread showing here. We're going to cover that later, so don't worry about it. IrisDuo, 15-0, Cali bead, again, outermost hole, one that has nothing going through it. Pull tight. 15-0, rondelle, going through our next IrisDuo, second hole, one we have not used. Pull tight, and then just push that little rondelle if you need to get it in place. Coming out of my IrisDuo rondelle, 15-0, in through our Cali bead, like this. The outermost hole, one we have not used. And the same thing, fix your rondelle, pull. Coming out of your Cali bead, 15-0, rondelle, in through your IrisDuo here in line, pull, fix your rondelle. And then we're coming out of our IrisDuo. Rondelle, 15-0, in through our Cali bead, our third hole. Out of our Cali bead, 15-0, rondelle, in through your IrisDuo, coming out, fix your rondelle if you have to. Coming out of our IrisDuo, rondelle, 15-0, in through your Cali bead. And if I can get my next 15-0 after that, I am. So, surrounding your IrisDuos should be rondelles. Surrounding your Cali beads here, your third hole should be 15-0s. So now, I'm coming out of my 15-0 here after my Cali bead. I'm going to go in through my rondelle, and I'm going to pick up an 11-0, go through my IrisDuo, that same outermost hole. Coming out of my IrisDuo, pick up another 11-0, go through my rondelle, my 15-0, and through my Cali bead. This can be done, it's not hard. Put your 11-0 in place. Yeah. Okay, so now from here, I have to go through this 15-0. And it's not hard. It's just hard on camera. There we go. Go through my rondelle also. Coming out of my rondelle goes 11-0, IrisDuo, then another 11-0. Go through your rondelle, your 15-0, and your Cali bead. And again, the same outermost hole. Go through your 15-0 here and your rondelle. Coming out of your rondelle goes an 11-0. In through your IrisDuo. This is like a step-up project. I like that. Those are fun. Coming out of my IrisDuo, in through the rondelle, and the 15-0, and the Cali bead, if I can. If not, take your time. Putting my 11-0 in place there. Now I have to go through this 15-0, the 15-0, and the rondelle. Coming out of my rondelle, 11-0, go through my IrisDuo. Coming out of my IrisDuo goes another 11-0, go through this rondelle, and I'm just going to go through the 15-0 this time because it's easier to catch the 15-0 on the other side when I go through the Cali bead. And then, like if I go this way, I can usually get all of them. Yep. No. Well, I got my 15-0. That's fine because it's easy to go in through my rondelle. Okay. I've already added all of my 11-0s, and this is what you should have. Go through your rondelle, coming out of this 15-0 here after your Cali bead, go through your rondelle and your 11-0 next to it. On here, we're going to use our 15-0s and just our 15-0s. This is a very easy step. On this, you just need to remember the number 5. 5 is the magic number. So on goes 5 15-0s, 4, 5. Go through your next 11-0 and your next rondelle. And then here, we're just going to go from rondelle to rondelle, picking up 5 15-0s. 3, 4, 5. So this is very easy. From your rondelle, go to your 11-0. Again, another 5. So on goes 5 15-0s, 4, 5. To your next 11-0, skipping the IrisDuo, coming out of the rondelle after your 11-0. And that will put these 15-0s in place there. From this rondelle, on goes 5 15-0s, 3, 4, 5. Coming out of my rondelle, going into my next rondelle, and coming out of the 11-0 after it. That's going to put those 15-0s in place there. Out of this 11-0, 5 15-0s, 3, 4, 5. Going to my next 11-0, coming out of my rondelle. And again, we're going to go from rondelle to rondelle, but putting 5 15-0s in between. So in through my rondelle, out through my 11-0. 5 more 15-0s. 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. Make sure I have 5, yes. Going to my next 11-0, coming out of my rondelle. So this part is very easy because you don't have to go through your Cali beads anymore. You don't have to go through your 15-0s anymore. You're just going through these beads that are easy to access. And then coming out of a rondelle, picking up 5 15-0s. Remember, on this step, 5 is the magic number. 4, 5. And then go through this rondelle and then go through your second 15-0 after that. Okay, now if you're going to add a wire guard, you need to be coming out of your second 15-0 after that 11-0 here after your rondelle. And then you're going to pick up your wire guard and go through one little there where you can put in your needle, and then go through the other one, making sure that your thread stays inside that little area there for your thread. Okay, and I'm just gonna kind of pull And then from here, I'm going to skip this middle 15-0, and I'm going to go through the rest of the 15-0s in line, my 11-0, and come out of my rondelle. And that has put my wire guard in place. Now if you're going to do 15-0s there, all you needed to do was sew after you put your last 15-0s here. Go through your rondelle, your 11-0, and come out of, see these 5 15-0s? Come out of your third one, come out of that one, add on, I don't know, 6 or 7 15-0s, then circle around and go back through this same middle-most 15-0, or your third 15-0 out of these 5, and then go down your piece. So now from here, I'm coming out of my rondelle. From here, what you should do is go through all your outer beads one more time, going through your wire guard again. But since I need to keep this short, I'm just going to go through this 15-0 here, and then through my Cali bead. Whoops. And then through my Cali bead. And then I am going to step down all the way to the middle of my project, well, through the beginning part here. And I'm going to make my way, and I'm going to go ahead and take off my stop bead. I'm going to make my way to this tail and tie a knot. So all I'm going to do is step down my Cali bead. And it's not hard, but it's hard to see. And that's because I got new glasses and I got bifocals, but I'm not really sure how to use them. I mean, I can see, but I know that there's a way to see close with them, and I still kind of have a hard time. So since it's easier just to remove my glasses, I remove my glasses. Okay, and I'm actually meeting my threads already. I can tie a knot here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take off my needle so I can tie my thread easier, and I'm going to, let me see, how am I coming out? Am I coming out of, yeah, it's good. It's good. I can do a knot there. Okay. So I'm going to do a knot, and since I have lotion on my hands, I can't pull as tight. So I'm going to get the help of my little nifty pliers. Another knot. Again. And then one more knot. One more knot. I don't think you need to tight glue on this because it's pretty tight. Okay. Now I'm going to burn my thread. And I need to get those shorter. And I'll probably burn them a little bit more off camera a bit. Alright. So now I am ready to put my ear hook. Whoops. And so you just gently open these like this to the side, and then you can see this is the front part. So I'm just going to make sure I put this in the correct way. If I don't, I can just redo it, put it in, take it out, and then put it in the right way. So this is my earring. This is my earring. This is my completed little Diamond Rio earring. This is how they look, and I like how they dangle. Look at them dangle. Look at them dangle. This is how they look. And I love these colors. I really, really like these colors. So this is our project. I hope you have as much fun making these as I did. And here we go. Here are our other ones, and these are my other ones. So I hope you like this, and thank you very much for watching.